floor, Madam.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I just want to briefly conclude my participation in this debate this evening by thanking my colleagues for having this extended debate on this very important issue. I want to thank the leadership of Senator Duff and Senator Looney for not just this evening, but over the last several years devoting as much time as we have to advancing access to early voting and finally getting to this moment. I want to just briefly thank former Secretary of the State Denise Merrill for her tireless leadership in getting us to this point. Our current Secretary of the State, Secretary Stephanie Thomas, for her leadership and her leadership moving forward as we hopefully move on to implement early voting and catch up with the 46 other states that already have this in our country. Madam President, I also want to thank my former co-chair, former Representative Dan Fox, for all of his work over the years on this, and my current co-chair, Representative Matt Blumenthal. I'm very grateful to have him as a partner in crafting this legislation and look forward to working with him and all of my colleagues moving forward. And Madam President, the hour is late, but I just want to express gratitude for the most recent comments of a few of my colleagues. I think sometimes, as I have said in previous debates on this issue in the past, sometimes it can be hard for those of us who live and breathe politics, who live and breathe active participation in our government, to understand the balance of other people's lives and how our current very restrictive systems here in Connecticut limit the full participation. And I want to thank my colleagues that just shared their own personal experiences and the anecdotes that they've heard from their constituents about those issues. I know that I had that experience just a few weeks ago, and my only regret about the legislation before us is that my great hope is that one day we can extend this early voting to all elections. Just a few weeks ago, many of the communities in my district have referendums on budgets, and every year, and this year more so than ever, I had the experience with a regular voter of where there was a medical crisis in my family. And I had to figure out how on earth I was going to participate in that budget vote and do my job here, take care of my family, take care of my family member who was unexpectedly hospitalized, and get to the polls in time. And my sister had the same issue that particular day. And it was very difficult. We both made it with just minutes to spare. And while this legislation isn't going to solve that problem on budget referendums, unfortunately, I just having freshly had that experience, I know how much this is going to make a difference for so many people, that they can participate in our democracy, and they know that their voice is valued, and their voice will be given every opportunity to be heard, and that our voting system will be accessible to everyone, regardless of the circumstances of your life. This is a great step forward, and I'm very grateful to have this moment to lead this conversation on early voting, and I look forward to seeing Connecticut have a robust system of early voting and hopefully an even greater level of participation of all of our eligible citizens. Thank you, Madam President.